Secrets are hidden in plain sight. Never have to worry about another.
I want you to do something for me real fast. I want you to close your eyes for a second and think of something that you truly desire. Whether it's becoming wealthy, finding your soulmate, whatever it may be, visualize every detail in your mind. Try to visualize this with as much detail as possible. Think about how you're feeling during this, what you're wearing. Notice your surroundings and keep picturing it in your mind's eye. Now, open your eyes. If you were able to visualize this at all, you have the power to manifest and turn your visualizations into reality. In fact, you've already manifested it. It just doesn't exist in this reality. Yet. The thing is, scientists at CERN, the largest particle collider in the world, have proven that up to 11 dimensions exist. To simplify what that means, it allows for the possibility of the multiverse to exist. And no, I'm not talking about Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse. I'm talking about the multiverse, which has been proven to exist by quantum physics. What this means is that every possible thing that has happened, or could happen, exists in these upper dimensions, and the simple act of visualizing and imagining something allows you to interact with these other realms of existence. Now, I know that's a lot to unpack, and I don't want to turn this into a science lesson, but basically, what this means is that all versions of your life, every good or bad choice, every possible outcome of how your life could play out, does exist in other parallel realities located in these upper dimensions, which means that your best possible life is existing right now in another alternate universe. And the key to tapping into this, and to be able to access all of these possibilities, is your pineal gland. Just imagine what it would be like to activate your pineal gland and be able to tap into this. To be able to manifest endless abundance. To never have to worry about waking up at 6 a.m. so that you can be on time for a job you can't stand. Or being able to find true love, where it's so amazing it seems like it's something out of a movie. And finally being content and happy, having the confidence to know that you are finally in control of your destiny and can manifest whatever you want into reality. To be able to manifest something simply means to pull what already exists in the multiverse into our plane of existence. Despite what you have been conditioned to believe, we are multidimensional beings, capable of interacting with higher dimensions which are proven to exist in quantum physics. You might wonder why you've never heard of this before. Well, it has been quietly swept under the rug, hidden from the view of the general public. And if it weren't for Nikola Tesla, this ancient knowledge of how the pineal gland lets you interact with the universe may have remained hidden forever. Despite being one of the most prolific inventors of all time, Tesla also started to uncover some of the biggest secrets of the universe. It started in his 20s when he became fascinated by the pyramids in Egypt. He was convinced that the pyramids hid some type of ancient technology that allowed them to harness the electromagnetic field of the Earth and create unlimited energy. Funded by J.P. Morgan and inspired by his theory about the Great Pyramids in Egypt, Tesla created large coils that were able to transmit power wirelessly using nothing but the electromagnetic fields of the Earth, with the goal being able to have free wireless electricity for the entire world. When J.P. Morgan realized what this meant, he famously told him that he didn't see the point of it. If it were free, they wouldn't be able to charge any money for it. So like many other great ideas and inventions, it became stifled and blocked by big business to protect their profits. At the end of Tesla's life, when he passed away alone in a hotel room where he was living, the US government immediately confiscated all of his works and research and classified it, so all of the things he was working on would never be made public. Many believe it was because his work shifted to understanding the laws of the universe and the true human potential. And some even say it was because he started to discover what many ancient civilizations knew about our pineal gland, something which the US government had a keen interest in. He once famously said, "What is considered as empty space is just a manifestation of matter that is not awakened." And if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Fast forward to today, and now the way scientists thought the universe works has been turned upside down over the past few years,
as quantum physics proved that everything in the universe is made up of energy and vibration. Even the hardest steel, at the atomic level, is not solid at all. It's energy and vibration. This is proving what Tesla knew all along, except he understood that the pineal gland was what allowed us as humans to tap into these higher dimensions and allow us to manifest our desires directly into reality. You see, his idea to create unlimited free energy and our pineal gland have something in common, and I'll explain that in just a second. But first, in order to really understand how special this pea-sized pineal gland we all possess is, and how this information I'm about to share with you is going to end up changing your life in ways you can never imagine, you must first know a little bit about our brain and the true nature of reality. In Hinduism, the pineal gland is represented by the Ajna chakra, which is the sixth chakra. If you've ever practiced yoga or meditation, you've probably seen the symbol that represents this chakra, as it represents two lotus petals joined together, which ironically symbolizes the left and right brain hemispheres joining together. You remember what I said about secrets being hidden in plain sight, right? Well, it turns out the pineal gland is the only thing that unites our left and right brain hemispheres. Think of it as a gatekeeper. And when your third eye is fully open, it allows both of your brain hemispheres to communicate to each other. When it's not activated, think of it as a dam, not allowing energy to flow from one side of your brain to the other. When it is fully open, it unlocks areas in your brain that allow you to access the universe directly and allows manifestation to actually work. This knowledge is sacred and closely guarded, to say the least, because it's so powerful. It's the real reason why Tesla's work was confiscated by the government. You will literally be able to use your mind to influence the universe to bend to your will and manifest your deepest desires directly into your life. Just imagine being able to heal your body from pain and sickness, or to create wealth and abundance just by focusing your mind on what you desire. And like I said before, the ancient knowledge of this by the Egyptians and other cultures is more than evident. Not only did they know about the pineal gland and how it united our brain hemispheres, but they also referred to it as the third eye, and there's a reason for that. The pineal gland contains the same rods and cone cells that our two eyes have. These cells are used to perceive light and colors. So our third eye is a lot more similar to our two eyes than you may have realized. Our third eye is mentioned in holy books like the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, and even the Holy Bible. The Bible makes mention of our third eye with this quote, "The eye is the lamp of the body. So if your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light." Matthew 6:22. Notice how the Bible specifically says "eye" and not "eyes" in this passage. This passage is essentially saying that if your third eye is open, you will be illuminated. But how is this possible? Well, once again, science is catching up to what the ancients already knew. Recently, Israeli scientists discovered microscopic rhombohedral crystals on our pineal gland. These crystals have piezoelectric properties, which means they can become electrically activated from the biorhythm of your own body. Now again, I know most people watching this are not scientists, but basically, it means that the specific shapes of these crystals on our pineal gland give it some amazing properties, and this is no accident. Once these crystals are activated, they can start calling energy back to them, building their own electromagnetic field. This is essentially turning your entire body into a transceiver, which allows you to send and receive information, much like how Tesla's free energy invention operated. Except the information you're able to send and receive is directly from the universe and these other higher vibrational dimensions. This is why the pineal gland is the key to being able to manifest, and without it, it is not possible to do. It is the gateway that allows you to send and receive information from these other realms, and this is one of the best kept secrets on the planet. Trying to manifest without having a functional pineal gland would be like having a cell phone and trying to place a call while the battery is dead. There is only one problem with all of this. In order for your pineal gland to actually work the way it was intended, and for you to be able to activate it, it needs to be healthy. The issue is, By the time we're about 6 years old, our pineal gland is already starting to be affected. And by the time we're an adult, it looks like this. Notice how the top portion has already been covered in calcium? It becomes tainted, polluted, and entombed in a toxic calcified shell. And this is what happens to nearly 97% of people on the planet. There is almost no avoiding it. The pollutants that attack your pineal gland are in the air, the food, and even the water. There is no escaping it. When your pineal gland is in an unhealthy state like this, you will be stuck in a low vibrational state.
Steve has been coming to my dental clinic for maybe 10 years now, so we've gotten to know each other fairly well. This time was no different. But for some reason, I was particularly annoyed with him today. You see, he was always talking about natural remedy this and homeopathic that. He was what I would describe as a new age type of person. Someone who was into meditation, yoga, taking and creating his own natural supplements, and apparently incense because he usually smelled like it. It seemed like he had a natural cure for everything, and medicine had little to no value to him. I, of course, was not trained that way and believed in medicine.
He was smiling. "See you in 6 months, Steve. And don't forget your credit card," I said jokingly as he left. While my wife was out of town, I had some free time on my hands, and I couldn't stop thinking about what Steve had said to me. I decided to pour myself a nice glass of red wine and hop online to do a bit of my own research. I was sure within 1 minute I'd find out that he was mistaken. After a few minutes of searching, I found the study he was talking about. Sure enough, it was a Harvard study, listed right on their own website. That's odd, I thought to myself. I wonder why I've never heard of this, I murmured. The conclusion of the study said that children that drank fluoridated water could have their IQ drop by 7 points versus children who drank non-fluoridated water. 7 points is actually pretty significant. One of the other alarming things I read was fluoride seems to fit in with the
U.S. population without their consent. Last time I checked, you have to get someone's permission to administer a drug to them, especially one that still keeps in touch to this day. Mike was a pretty normal guy, but there was one thing that stood out about him. He worked for the government. At least, that's what my dad told me. Ever since I was a young child, he just kept it very vague and said that he wasn't really able to talk about what he did, and I wasn't allowed to ask him about it.
It wasn't until I was a teenager that I found out who he truly worked for: the CIA. You see, not everyone that works for the CIA are men dressed in black with dark glasses. The CIA has assets everywhere. School teachers, celebrities, factory workers, you name it. I'd be willing to bet that every time you leave your house, you've come in contact with at least one person directly employed by the CIA or loosely affiliated with them. I was so determined to get to the bottom of this fluoride mess I've stumbled onto, and I figured since he was now retired, maybe he would be willing to open up a bit more, especially after we had a few beers at his party. Later that week at his party, after most of the people had left, he came up to me and was asking me how I'd been. This is the perfect chance to bring it up to him, I thought. After a bit of small talk, I decided to ask him about it. He started to say, "Well, it's to prevent tooth decay. You should know that." But then I looked at him and said, "Come on, don't BS me. I've read the studies. What's really going on here?" Suddenly, his face changed, and he said, "Come on, let's go up to my office." After we went into his office, he locked the door behind him and told me to have a seat. What he was about to tell me would alter the course of my life forever and will change yours as well. What makes you think I know anything about fluoride in the water? Just because I worked for the CIA doesn't mean I know everything. We're highly compartmentalized, you know. Please, Uncle Mike, I just want to know the truth. He still didn't say anything, and I felt pissed off. I could tell by the look on his face that he was not telling me everything he knew. I said, "Never mind, I shouldn't have asked," and got up to go to the door, when he said, "Wait, sit back down. Let me see your cell phone." I handed it over, and he pulled out some kind of metal box from his desk and put it inside. "What's that?" I said. "It's a Faraday cage. It prevents any wireless signals from entering or leaving this box. You never know who may be listening." Then he asked me directly, "Are you sure you can handle the truth?" I said yes. I want to know why we're adding this stuff to our water if the Nazi Party was adding it to the water in the Jewish prison camps. Were they trying to make them docile and not resist when they started to add fluoride to the water for the first time in the United States? I'm not sure actually. 1945, right after the war ended. They first tested adding it in Grand Rapids, Michigan, he said. They got the idea from Hitler. This sent shivers down my spine. You see, after the war ended, 1,600 scientists, engineers, and other technicians were taken to the U.S. to be employed by the U.S. government in what was known as Operation Paperclip. Not only were we able to get incredible geniuses to come work for us, like Wernher von Braun, the father of modern rocketry who helped found NASA, but we also got access to a lot of the research that Hitler has wealth and opportunities, happiness, love, and understanding. What need would you have for the government? He went on to talk more about this mysterious pineal gland. The agency continued its research into what they discovered from the Nazi Party, and also into the pineal gland. When they discovered the true potential of activating your pineal gland and fully opening your third eye, this spawned other projects, like the Stargate project. With the Stargate project, which started in the 1970s, they were exploring the potential of fully opening your third eye in order to use psychic abilities against the enemy during warfare. To the astonishment of everyone, people that had their third eye opened gained psychic abilities that allowed them to fully describe enemy remote locations they have never seen before, even in foreign countries. While they declassified pocket. Here, I want you to have this. Maybe you can do some good with it. It's not helping anyone staying locked away in some old man's desk drawer. I wished him a happy birthday again and then headed back home. The next few months, I spent following up on the things that my Uncle Mike had told me, and every single thing he said about these government programs appeared to be true. MK Ultra, the date when they first started using fluoride, the Stargate project, everything was true. Or so talking with Steve about all of the things I had discovered since he told me about that Harvard study about fluoride. We talked about what my Uncle Mike had told me about the secret government programs related to the pineal gland. We talked about quantum physics, manifestation, the chakra system. I felt like I could talk to Steve for hours, but I couldn't believe how knowledgeable he actually was when it came to this stuff. I told him my idea about creating the supplement that the CIA used and showed him the ingredient list. His eyes suddenly got really wide when he saw it. I'm not sure I'd be able to get some of these ingredients. I may have to call in a few favors with people I know. Some of these are very rare, he said. After a week went by, I got a call from Steve, and he sounded very excited. He explained that he was able to secure all 7 ingredients, including one that was practically non-existent in the US, native to India, and used by high-level yogi masters. They were very hesitant about exporting any of this to the West, but Steve was able to make it happen. There is only one problem. How will we know if it actually works? Luckily, I have already thought about that. I had a college friend who went on to become a neurologist. His office had all sorts of equipment that was used to do imaging of the brain, and he agreed to help Steve and I by doing imaging of our brain before and after we started taking this experimental supplement. I figured once our pineal gland starts to be activated, we should be able to see an uptick in the electromagnetic activity in our brain. And I was right. While we were waiting for the first samples from the lab that Steve worked with to create this supplement, I had a brain scan done. Here is an image of my brain scan before I started using the supplement. Notice how there are not a whole lot of areas that are lit up? Well, after we received the supplement, and I started taking it for a week, I went back to my neurologist friend and did a follow-up scan. Here is what it looks like now. And Steve's was also very similar to mine. We both looked at each other in astonishment. It works. This is what happens when you use both hemispheres of your brain at the same time. We had physical proof that something was happening. The electromagnetic resonance was building in our brain. Over the lawsuit I totally forgot about from years ago. It didn't stop there. Not long after that, I got a knock at the door. It was a lawyer, and he explained that I had a wealthy great uncle with no living heirs other than me, and decided to leave half of his wealth to me and the other half to charity. Stuff like this never happened to me normally, and it's all because I had activated my third eye.
I felt like I was 20 years old again. I'm healthier, happier, wealthier, and now have the confidence of knowing that I'm in control of my life. All I needed to do was to focus on what it was that I desire, and the universe would bring it directly into my life, one way or another. After experiencing this, I knew I had to share it with the rest of the world. I wanted to get back at the groups of people trying to suppress this knowledge about our pineal gland, and the people who were poisoning our water, our food, our air, helping to destroy our ability to spiritually ascend and damage our health. The same people hoarding this knowledge for themselves, while they enjoy all of the benefits and the gifts the universe has to offer.
Introducing Pineal XT, the world's first and only all-natural supplement specifically formulated to cleanse and decalcify your pineal gland, as well as magnify your ability to manifest by activating your third eye. This formulation is based on the
You just need to manifest it here in your reality. Unlimited abundance line. You'll also notice a reduction in anxiety, depression, and other low-vibration emotional states as well. And by now, your pineal gland should be open to the point where you can begin the manifestation process. And I've got you covered there as well.
I've put together a detailed, easy-to-follow 19-page guide called The Top 5 Ways to Manifest. It will show you step-by-step how to visualize what you desire and use your third eye's natural ability to manifest your desires into reality. And I'm going to give it to you absolutely free if you act today. We've also put together another incredible guide called Awaken Your Psychic Powers. Now that your third eye is finally open, you have the ability to tap into psychic powers that you never knew you possessed. We'll show you different exercises to strengthen them and how to activate them within this detailed guide.
You'll finally be able to take control of your life and live it the way you want. You'll be the author of your own fantasy life, instead of being a character in some twisted plot, as you effortlessly glide through the rest of your life, filled with abundance, love, wealth, health, and happiness, as if you're living life using a cheat code. Just imagine being able to finally get whatever you desire most in this life. Most people would just consider this wishful thinking without realizing that it's entirely possible and just outside of their grasp. Pineal XT is the key that unlocks this possibility. And again, I need to make something 100% clear. Other online gurus trying to teach you how to manifest and other online manifestation programs you may have tried haven't worked for you because it's not possible to manifest and tap into the universe unless you have activated your third eye. So let me ask you, what would being able to fulfill your deepest desires be worth to you? Some people would kill to be able to achieve this. Others would spend thousands, heck, even millions of dollars. With that being said, $1,000 for one bottle of Pineal XT would be a very reasonable price for what it lets you do. But we're not going to charge $1,000 for it. We're not even going to charge $500, which would still be an incredible bargain given the rarity of the ingredients and the new life full of possibilities that will open up to you. In fact, in order to help get back at Big Pharma and the elite for covering up this information, I'm going to be offering Pineal XT at a cost everyone can afford, because everyone deserves to have this in their life. So, if we still have some in stock, you can grab it at the price you see below. All you need to do is select 1, 3, or 6 bottles below, and then enter in your order information on the next page. In case you're wondering, most people order 6 bottles simply because it's the best deal we offer, and there is a high likelihood that once we run out of our supply, we'll be forced to raise our prices if we're even able to source these ingredients again. All orders are kept confidential, and your personal information is protected by 256-bit encryption. Once you place your order, it will be processed within 24 hours and rush delivered to you in discreet packaging anywhere in the world with free shipping insurance. Once you do, you'll become part of our family and join the thousands of others who have changed their lives with Pineal XT. And myself and others will be here for you every step of the way to help you with any questions you have. I do need to warn you, we highly recommend getting as many bottles as you can because we have a very limited stock and we have no idea if we're going to continue being able to get some of the ingredients needed to create Pineal XT. Also, to help get back at what they've been doing to us for years, I'm personally donating a portion of the sales. You have a choice to make. You can continue on the path you're on now, fighting an uphill battle spiritually and physically as your body continues to get poisoned by toxic chemicals that are almost unavoidable, and remain a slave to Big Pharma, who only desires to keep you fat, sick, and dumbed down so they can prescribe you medicine. Or you can take action today and detoxify that shell surrounding your pineal gland, preventing you from interacting with the universe, blocking you from true happiness, stopping you from achieving your dreams, and purify the toxins that have built up in your blood, your brain, and in your organs. I know you'll make the right choice, because you have nothing to risk, and I just know it wasn't an accident that you found this page today. I can't wait to hear about all of the blessings the universe is going to bestow on you. Your new life starts today.